back when this was the pinnacle of technology, and this is how we heard our music. We made mixtapes to make sense of our lives. This is how we communicated with each other. When our movies were about dancing, breakdancing, and music, it was the soundtrack of our lives. This was about as far as our home gaming systems went, and they were expensive. And it was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of dot matrix, and Ataris were just expensive and hard to find. We had to look elsewhere for our fun, and that's when we went to the arcades. It's hard to forget the smell of the soda and the cotton candy and all the stuff you shouldn't be eating to play these games. And man, it was always packed. It was amazing, but it was perfect. This is how we were social. This is how we got along. This is where we met. It was all about who had the next up, how many quarters you had. We would plop them down one after another, after another, after another, going broke and mindless at the same time. We used to take quarters from everybody, even our parents. Yeah, Dad, I took the quarters out of your stash, and I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. It seems like every weekend there was a new game to play, some new spaceship, some alien invasion. I mean, it was just a vast, endless ocean of cool games to play, and it was every weekend. Back home in Tucson, we used to go to golf and stuff, and it seemed like there was just an endless aisle of video games to play, and not to mention all the other things there too. We were social. We were a much more tighter-knit unit, I think. Of course, it also made it into movies. Tron. What a great movie that was. It taught us that being a nerd was fun. Being a gamer was fun. Not only was it fun, it was exciting, and there was adventure behind it. I mean, could it get any cooler than Kevin Flynn? And I'm so happy to see him in Stranger Things. Gosh, it's just like stepping right back into a time portal. It's amazing. Not to mention it's a great show, but the nostalgia in it is just, it's out of this world. You'd find a lot of these arcades in the malls. Our parents would drop us off there just so we could waste time and really their money while they wouldn't shop. And we were okay for that trade. You know, it was definitely a win for us. It's funny that they have to advertise no smoking. Yeah, there was a lot of differences back in the 80s, 70s, and heck, even the 90s. You'd often find your friends here, relatives, anybody who had a penchant for gaming. It was just a different time. We were social, we went out, we rode bikes, we played. We were kids. We had our whole lives in front of us. We were the heartbeat of this country. We were ready to take it on. And then, well, and then this happened. This is how we live. Our whole lifeblood is in this screen. It's how we communicate. It's how we see the world. It's how our kids see the world. It's how they talk. How do they even know how to write? What do they say to each other when they don't have these screens? When they do? It's confusing. It even makes it down to our social groups right now. We can't even go to a concert without recording the whole thing, and we're there. We're there. We can't live in the moment anymore. This is how we do everything. And this is how we game. This is how our kids play, in their room, secluded, with headsets. This is how they communicate. And if you take it away from them, I've heard of parents going through some really tough times. They'll just come and shut it off for their kids, and they'll throw a tantrum or two, and that may or may not go so well for the parent. But this is how our kids play now. No bikes, no going outside. It's just so terrible in my mind. And I've even heard of kids getting violent with their parents when they try to take things away. Like this kid right here. But again, it's not just how we game. It's how we live. This is how we buy things. We left malls empty. It's like a ghost town. These things were everything to us. And I'm not saying that growth isn't important. It is. I get it. But at what cost? But something amazing's happening. They're making a comeback. Arcades. Beautiful. This hopefully will be a resurgence, a reunification, a way for us to be able to join each other again, socialize, celebrate life, have some fun. I know recent events have kept us away from each other, but the time will come the time will come for sure for us to be able to gather again. And even in a place like in Springfield, Missouri, the town I'm in now, we've got this place that lets you go by the hour and you can play everything all you want. Video games, pinball machines. These stores are popping up all over the place. And I know that it's probably me, the target audience, but you know, I see kids there too. And I mean, look at this. This is Pac-Man on a huge screen. I mean, they're playing in an LED. Can you imagine what we'd have done with this as we were kids? I think I'd still be at the arcade. Let's go find our fun together. Let's have our lives back in progress. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.